What's up, everybody? Happy holidays and welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg. So let's just get on talking. What are we doing today? 5 reasons to possibly not drive on New Year's Eve. I will be driving on New Year's Eve, but this is an interesting holiday and it's definitely not for everyone to work. So I'm just going to go over some of the reasons why this probably might not be for you. Right on. Before we get going, guys, I just wanted to talk to you guys real quick about Cargo Snack Box. Awesome service. This company literally sends you a free box full of snacks and goodies. You sell them to your customers. You make money. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. It's free. Excuse me. The top drivers report that they earn upwards of an additional $300 a month from this service. That is good money. So put it in perspective. What is that like per week? It's like, an additional 70 to 80 bucks a week, give or take, So, plain and simple, if you want to make more money, you're going to download Cargo Snack Box. Link in the description. All right, so what are we doing today again? 5 reasons to not drive on New Year's Eve. So the very first reason would be if you're really financially sound, you really don't need any additional income. And you really love partying and drinking, and New Year's Eve is one of your favorite holidays in the world, well, then obviously don't come out here in Uber. There's no reason to. Or Lyft. I really hope most of you are Ubering for New Year's as opposed to Lyft, but all right, anyways. So that's like my very first thing is obviously like if this is a really important holiday to you, then don't come out here and drive. The money's good. It's not like life-changing good though. So the very first reason, though, beyond that is chaos. It is a very, very chaotic night. It's a very, very busy night. This is a lot of times one of those days where, like, you can't even take a break to go to the bathroom unless you literally turn the app off because you will get back to back rides. And that can be like very chaotic. And for everyone, that's not the type of driving they do. If you're a type of driver where maybe you only go out Monday through Friday from like 10 a.m. till 1 p.m., like you're used to slower days and you're probably only wanting to make $13 to $15 an hour anyways. So it really isn't for everyone. And I think that's like the biggest scenario of why you maybe wouldn't want to do it is if you're someone you really don't do a lot of the busier hours, you don't do rush hour, you don't do weekends, and you're really just used to like calmer driving, like this can be a really, really intense holiday to work, So that would be my first reason is the honestly, just the chaos of it all. It does come with a lot. You do make a lot of money, but it can come with a lot of stress if you're not used to it. The next reason is the drunks. If you're the type of person where you like religiously avoid weekends because you just can't handle giving all the drunks rides or all the stoners rides, I don't know why, like really never's bothered me, but if that is you, then this is probably the worst day of the year to drive because everyone's drunk. Like for the most part, everyone you pick up will be like hammered to some degree, or they've had enough drinks where they should not be driving home, So if that's you, that's another reason why you wouldn't want to be out there. Because it just combining the amount of people that are hammered and are just going to be blitzed and like yelling and screaming and laughing in your car with like how nuts the driving is, it can be very, very stressful for the wrong person. So yeah, that would be the next reason, obviously, is the hammered folks. Traffic is the next reason. This is like surprising, but like in the downtown areas on New Year's Eve, like getting close to midnight, it's usually like really, really bad traffic. I had one year where I was stuck in traffic for like 30 minutes, like from probably like 11:45 through the new year till like 12:15, and it, it didn't bother me because I'm pretty sure I was on a huge surge ride where even the time waiting was like worth it, but it can be annoying though. Like there really is like pretty deceivingly bad traffic for this type of holiday. I think in a lot of areas, I don't know what Ubering in like New York City or LA is like on New Year's, but I can't imagine how nutso it is. Like I'm talking about just in my city, in Phoenix, which is a big city, but it's not like, I mean, it is the 5th biggest city in the nation, but still, it's just not like New York, LA, Chicago, like these really, really like lit cities, you know? So, yeah, if traffic and chaos and drunks combined are all big problems, you're not going to want to do it. The next reason is pukers. I actually have never had anyone puke in my car. I've given a lot of rides. I've never had a puker in my car. Out my car, hundreds of times. On the outside of my car, probably a dozen times. But yeah, that's what ticks me off the most, when people like lean their head out the window and then yak all over the side of my car. I'm like, dude, that's not really any better. Like, I still got to go pressure wash it. But there will be a lot of pukers. Now, a much easier way to combat this than just not working is like what I do. I don't ever even do this on weekends, but I do this on New Year's. I have puke baggies. I have Tylenol. I have Advil. I have aspirin. I have the heck is it called? Pedialyte. I bring a lot of other electrolyte drinks because, like, again, it's like I was saying earlier, like, this is like, there are a lot of drunks. Now, in most cases, people are so scared of a puke fee that they were like, they'll jump into your car and get hit by a semi trying to puke on the highway before they'll pay that puke fine. That was a little morbid. Sorry, guys. But pukers, like, if that is another thing, like, if that's like another reason you don't do weekend driving is because you're paranoid of that. And that's a real thing. Like, I have a friend who, he won't even risk driving on the weekends because he just doesn't want to deal with people puking in his car. And he even told me a story one time about how this guy was like just getting into his car that like in the afternoon that was just absolutely like belligerently drunk. And he told him to get out of his car. He's like, I'm sorry, man. It's just kind of how I am as an Uber driver. I don't want to drive hammered people around because, you know, but he had a pretty bad story about his back seats getting yacked on. So I kind of don't blame him. But pukers, traffic, drunks, chaos. Oh my. But then the final reason is if you are a very anxious driver, this is definitely the day to avoid. Your anxiety will be like on full force because, again, think about the 5 things I just mentioned and how that would, you know, how you would react and manifest to that. You know, it's just, it is a tougher day to drive. It is definitely a tougher day to drive. I will say that. But one of my, well, I've got a few favorite stories from New Year's Eve, but I have some great stories from it. Whatever, I'll tell that on a different video. But I guess to recap all of this, I would say that if you're able to, you're gonna want to work this holiday. It really is a really solid one. I have made upwards of $600 on New Year's in the past. I think the lowest I've ever made was $300. And I mean, in 10 hours, that's 30 an hour. That's still like a ridiculous night. It's just not like an iconic night, you know? So your odds of having just a freakishly good night, like if you can tolerate all those things, like you really do need to, because you're going to have plenty of New Year's Eve parties to celebrate in your lifetime. They're literally every year. So if you're in a place where you could use the money, like I think you really need to sacrifice and just get over those things. Because like I said, the potential is just unthinkable of what you could make. Like I said, upwards of $600-700. I know people that have made over $700 on New Year's Eve, and it's just a really great night. But like I said, if all these things are just too much for you and you religiously avoid all of these things, then you've got honestly nothing to worry about. Like, you're going to be absolutely fine driving on these days, no doubt about it. But some other things that, you know, you might want to think about is you don't have to drive 10 hours, 12 hours like I do for these holidays. For these things, I get excited. I go all out. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make my rent in a night. But you don't have to go all out. You can go for 3 hours. You can go and, I mean, heck, you could go from 7 to 10 p.m. and then go to one of your friends' parties for the ball drop and the last, like, 2 hours, you know? And you can still have a lot of fun. Like, a lot of the important thing to remember with Uber and Lyft driving, and this is, like, always something I have to remind myself, is that, like, we don't, like, the beauty of it is how flexible it is. You don't have to go and work an 8-hour day. You don't have to go and work a 4-hour day. You can work a 1-hour day. You can work a 2-hour day. I mean, you could go literally out right at midnight and go give the biggest surge rides of the night or something, and you would make a killing, you know? Like, a lot of times I think we get so set in our ways of how we do this that then we a lot of times it's like we're either all in or all out. And what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't have to be either. Like, you can be in this in-between state where you compromise and you do 3 hours here and then go party. It's not like you either work or you party. You can work a little bit and then party hard, you know? It's just not, it's not that complex. So that's my video, guys. 5 reasons to possibly not drive on New Year's Eve. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Have a killer New Year's, whether you're driving or drinking. I don't care. I just hope it suits you best. See you later, guys.